This is a historic day for Orange County. I've been here the majority of my life, and I don't know of many things that I can say compared to what we're about to be able to do here. And it's historic for many reasons. One of those reasons is that they've limited me to, I'm going to take this off, they've limited me to 5 minutes, which is historic if it happens. But I'm going to try my best to do that. But this is a very, very important time for Orange County. Historic in that we have an opportunity to protect our citizens, to protect our economy, to protect the nation's economy. Because so much of our product that we produce here in this part of the country goes nationwide. And all those things being factored in makes it historic. It's also historic in the fact as we go through the room and we start looking at the people who are here, the different agencies that are represented here, from our state, from our federal, to the core, everybody, our local government that is from city councils, the mayors, to everyone here, the drainage district that has worked together over the course of the last 2 years to come to an agreement today of some work that was started by Senator Cornyn's office and many others to get this thing funded to where we would have an opportunity to have a levy around Orange County to protect our citizens. This is that historic that you can get that many people, that many agencies from different government to agree to do anything is historic in itself. And this group of people that you see here today that are up here, around, you're going to hear from many of them today, proves that when government decides to do something for the betterment of the people, for the betterment of the economy, that we can all work together to make that happen. And I would like to thank a whole lot of folks that are up here personally, because I have worked with many of them hand in hand, day after day, to get to this point. And I hate to name folks because I know I'm going to leave somebody out, but everybody that you see sitting up here has been very instrumental in getting the funding that we needed from Orange County to be able to move forward with this project. We had the federal funds available, but we didn't have the local funds. Orange County does not have $800 million. I wish we did, but we don't. And so we had to work with our state representatives, our state senators, and our GLO, the land office, to be able to come to an agreement of how Orange County's share of 27 miles of brand new levee would be able to become a reality for Orange County. I think that we all want to get to a point. I know my emergency management coordinator is here somewhere, Joel Artwayne, who does a fantastic job in Orange County. But we want to get to a point when you look at storms come in and you look at the weather reports, which we all do because these things are coming in, and you see a couple of areas of interest. One of them is Jefferson County, the other one is New Orleans area, and you see the flood maps, you see the flood surge maps, and we're all in reds and purples and greens, just horrible conditions for flood storm surge to get to us. And the Jefferson County area and the New Orleans area is all white because they have a levee system. And the biggest decision that they have to make when it comes to storm surge is to, what I like to coin our phrase for Orange County, is that I want to be able to say, when we have an event like that coming in, or a situation, is to close the gates. Because to be able to say that means that we're going to protect our citizens from storm surge. And all of us that are in this room, many of us that live here, know the horrors of the flood, and we can control that. We can do some stuff about storm surge and about flood events. And with our friends from the Corps of Engineers being able to build this thing, and a lot of the local design and engineering from our local drainage district and their team, who has been absolutely fantastic in this. I've learned way more about hydrology than I've ever wanted to know. But that ability to be able to do that and be able to protect those citizens, and for them to be able to know that they have a comfort in mind that says, I'm not at least going to flood. I don't have to live my life knowing that every time a potential storm surge comes in, I've got to lift everything in my house up to an elevation of 3 feet or 4 feet, because that's what we get. And that, being able to take that off of the plate of our citizens, I think is huge for our community. And that comfort level, we can't do a whole lot about wind, but we can do something about storm surge and about flooding. And I think this event today and this first step in moving this thing forward to where it needs to be is completed. The levee project around Orange County and then of course down the coastline, but for certain Orange County is monumental and historical in its regards to what it can do for our community and our citizens. And so I can tell you we were in this building at about 2:30 a.m. the night of Laura hitting, and whenever that storm took a little jaunt to the east, the sigh of relief in this building, not so much that we weren't going to get hit by the storm itself. We knew we were. We knew we were going to deal with 100+ mile-an-hour winds. But what we also knew is that it took the storm surge off our plate, and that relief alone was huge for our community. That knowing that when you wake up in the morning, you're not going to have a foot or 2 foot or 3 foot or 4 foot of water in your homes. That was huge. You know, we can deal with the rest of it, and we will deal with the rest of it, but it's nice to know that we're going to have a potential for this for storm surge to not be a problem for us, and for drainage to not be a problem for us. And so, with that being said, I'm going to try to, I think I have limited that as close as I could to 5 minutes. We'll see. But I could talk about this forever because it has been a project that we have worked on for many years, in the last 2 years exclusively since the federal funding came through. And there was many times, I will tell you, that the frustration level was high. There was many times that we didn't know that it was going to get completed, that we were going to get through this. But through the work of everybody that you see sitting up here, I'm talking about everybody, governor's office down, federal government offices down, to get us to this point, everybody kept pushing. Everybody kept pushing. And here we are today, getting ready to sign a document that is going to let that first step take forward. And so anyway, I'll move on forward with the agenda item. And so, because like I said, I could certainly talk about this forever, but I'm extremely excited about it. If we're not excited about it, something's wrong, because this is huge for our area and our citizens. So first, I'd like to welcome some people, and I'm going to start over here and with our folks that we'll start with Representative Dennis Paul, who I know is very instrumental in the funding coming through for this as well, and so that at the state level. So thank you for all the work that you've done.
I'm excited about this as well.
Well, and we're going to have some opportunity for different people to talk if we want to. And also Representative Dade Phelan, who is going to be carrying the torch for us going into the next session as well, to be able to continue our project. And also, of course, Congressman Brian Babin, who was at the federal level, was pushing extremely hard for us as well. And Jay Guerrero, who is Senator Cornyn's office, and we've had many conversations through all this as well, and a lot of great work done, so thank you. And then Colonel Vail, I tell you, Colonel Vail is, we have become, I guess, close in all of this, right? And because I tell you, his work and his determination to move this project forward as well has been very instrumental, and I want to thank you for everything you've done. And Don Carona, our local drainage district director, how many hours and hours and hours, not only did your office spend working on this with your team, but that me and you have had many conversations, and I'd like to say thank you to you, your team, your board, because the support, we did this as a group together, so that we would be able to move this forward and to be able to have a project that we could all be happy about when we got to the end of it. We have Mark Havens with the GLO, who is ended up being the funding agency for Orange County's portion. Would like to thank you, Mark. We've had many discussions as well over the course of the last 2 years, and we're here as well. And I want to say thank you to everything that you've done as well. And we have Catarina Gonzales, who's the policy, make sure I say this, policy advisor for Governor Abbott's office, and she's going to read a proclamation from the governor today. But thank you make sure you tell the governor we appreciate all of his help and support. Me and him talked several times on the phone about this project over the course of the last 2 years. So I'm glad we're here, and I'm glad you're here as well. So thank you. And we want to talk about Senator Robert Nichols. Senator Nichols, just so you know, we had a couple of our rough times through this. We reached out to him to help us, to have some discussions with some people that we couldn't get to at the time, and he was able to set that up, was able to get us to a point, through the funding of the state and some clarification on what the funding of the state was meant to be for. And so we want to thank you, Senator, for everything that you've done as well. And then we have, I'm making sure I got your name right, Nichols Sundstrom, did I do it right? And she is a policy advisor for Senator Larry Taylor. He was also very instrumental in getting the work done as well. And so I just want to say thank you to those folks, and then Byron Williams. Everybody has been instrumental in this, and I think all these people, some of them are going to get up and speak at some point, some of the ones, and then at the end we'll make the ones that want to also speak, I'm going to make sure that they have an opportunity as well. But again, all those folks that you see and that are up here, many that are out there, my court, for the support that they gave me to sign this document and to be able to move forward, it's very key because I've got a great court and I'm happy to work with every single one of them. And at some point, we'll all be able to sit there and utter that phrase at the time of the storm. I hope there's not anyone anywhere soon, but we can close those gates. And so I want to say thank you to all of you as well. All right, and I think our next speaker, we're going to have an actual speaker, and I think we're going to have Representative Brian Babin.
Judge, thank you so very much. I'm not going to go back around and name names, but there's some folks around this table. And I just want to say thank you so very much to you. And many of you and I have had conversations over the many, many months. And this is something that's coming to fruition. And it's been a roller coaster ride of optimism and pessimism. Optimism and pessimism. And folks, here we are. Here we are, thanks to a lot of collaboration on the federal, state, and local level. And also, there's been some industry input in this as well. I just want to say thank you for everyone. Judge, you've done an excellent job. Orange County, I think, out of all the 9 counties that I represent here in Southeast Texas, I don't think there's a county in the state of Texas that's any more familiar and had the experience with flood and storm events any more so than this county. I'm finishing out my 3rd term, 6 years in office, and I'll tell you, it's been a routine almost. I hate to say that, but it's almost like a routine that we get flood events in Orange County and southern Newton County are getting whammed and whacked again. And so I don't think it's any more crucial that we get a project started like we're doing today. And then as my district runs to the west, I represent the Houston Ship Channel, Port of Houston, Port of Orange, Port of Beaumont, Port of Baytown, Cedar Bayou, and represent more petrochemical refining facilities and refineries than any other district in the whole United States of America. And so the absolute critical ability for us to continue to manufacture fuels, plastics, things that are so important to our welfare and economy and national security, strategic fuels, gasoline, all of the things that are necessary to make sure that our great country continues to have a great economy that keeps going, are all dependent upon the industries, and that those industries will have employees, a workforce that has an affordable housing, real estate market, and plus affordable flood insurance. And then also to be able to have those folks live in close enough proximity so they can come to work and have these facilities continue the way they're going. But it's been, you can't say, well, one person did this, or one person did that. But there's some folks here that have really done a great job. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who have had something to do with this and had major input. I also want to say, Colonel Vail, I tell you what, I've gone through several colonels in the Galveston office, and I'm not taking away anything from anybody else, but talking to you gave me as much inspiration as I've had in the last 6 long years. You cut through the red tape, and I really appreciate your office. Your boss, Secretary R.D. James, and I have had a number of conversations, and I think working together with your office and with him, and again with Senator Nichols and your drainage district folks, great county judge, and your county commissioners, also our great state representatives and state senators. Just want to say thank you, because Orange is not the wealthiest county in the state of Texas. And when you have an $800 million share that you have to come up with, that makes it really tough. And this guy right here, have literally sweat bullets trying to make up their mind about whether to sign this design agreement, which we're about to do today. And because of our government, because of our great state representatives and senators, our GLO, and many other people on the state level, Orange has now got what's $72 million share. And that has enabled us to move forward with this really great needed project. Orange is probably as bare of storm mitigation levee systems as any county on the Gulf Coast. And with our chemical plants and all the critical infrastructure that we need to have protection for, this is going to be it. And then that's going to attract more industry and give more jobs to Southeast Texans that will not only live in Orange County, but around the district as well, and drive in to go to work, so we can continue to protect our great economy. And we have been saddled with coronavirus. I've never seen anything like this. Even as a healthcare professional, I never anticipated anything of the such. We've gone from the greatest economy that we've seen in 6 decades, maybe even longer than that, the lowest unemployment rate till through no fault of any American citizen, to be in the worst recession we've seen since the 1930s. But it's coming back, folks. And this is a great project to help give a shot in the arm to get this old economy going again. And I'm real proud to have been a part of this. Just want to say thank you to every one of you. And I think we're going to have a little Q&A later on, possibly. God bless Orange County, God bless Texas, and God bless the USACE. Thank you.
The governor asked me to come. I'm sorry he couldn't be here today, and because of the importance of this project, he wanted me to be here and just convey to you his thanks and some of his warm wishes about that. This is a project that we've been committed to and been working on for a long time, and we remain committed to it, and we'll be continuing to work with the legislature in the session for the next phase going forward. Specifically, he wanted me to thank Congressman Babin and Commissioner Bush for the GLO, as well as Senators Nichols and Taylor, and Representatives Phelan and Paul, the Army Corps, the Orange County Commissioners Court, and the Orange County Drainage District. And I do have a proclamation here. Just one paragraph here to read some words that he wanted to make sure to convey. One of the foundational responsibilities of any government is the protection of its people. The signing of this design agreement sets in motion a significant effort to preserve and enhance our precious coast and resources while protecting our fellow Texans living in Orange County. The construction of a new levee and flood wall system will improve our infrastructure and fortifications against flooding or hurricane damage that might threaten Southeast Texas. And I'm going to give this to the judge here. Thank you, Judge.
Dear friends, I applaud you for your success in reaching an agreement with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to advance the design of the Orange County element of the Sabine Pass to Galveston Bay project. Your collaboration across local, state, and federal jurisdictions will benefit not only local residential areas and critical industries in Orange County, but also our neighbors all the way down the coast to Missouri County. Following the devastation of Hurricane Harvey, I fought to provide Texas with resources to sustain response and recovery efforts and invest in mitigation projects to withstand future natural disasters. The Bipartisan Budget Act of 2018, the third disaster aid bill in response to Hurricane Harvey, secured $3.9 billion necessary to construct this project, which will provide critical storm, surge, and flood protection for Orange County and the Gulf Coast. With Hurricane Laura so fresh in Texas minds, the time has never been better to move forward with this project. My thanks to Orange County Judge John Gothia, General Manager John Cornyn of the Orange County Drainage District, the Texas General Land Office, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for their hard work to make this project a reality. Your actions will help fortify our aging infrastructure and keep Texans safe from future natural disasters. Sincerely, John Cornyn, United States Senator.
Thank you, Commissioner, for Commissioner Bush. And he sends his welcome and wishes he could be here, but I've got to say, I'm glad I'm here. It is truly an honor to be here. And Judge, I will say you are a diplomat. To call those tense conversations, that was you are a very diplomatic man. I would have to say this project it's one of the few times I can say in government I'm so glad to see all of these federal, state, local partners come together. There were so many times where I was 100% convinced this project was never going to get off the ground, and the next morning I knew it would, and we had several late night conversations right up until the end. I can't appreciate enough the work that's gone into this by the core federal partners bringing this money to Texas in the first place, and then the work Representative Phelan and Representative Paul and Senator Nichols was instrumental in Senate Bill 500 in getting the match that allowed us to put this together. Because I think at the end of the day, it came down to, like so many things in Southeast Texas, we see all this, how do we get it done? And so I think that's what happened, is everybody just essentially found a way to get this done. And so it is truly an honor to be here. While I always enjoy spending time in Southeast Texas, I feel like I've spent too much time down here talking to you and Representative Phelan and Senator Nichols about Harvard recovery and Melda and everything else. So to come down here and to be part of a historic, proactive movement to get ahead of this, I think it is great for this area. It's great for the state of Texas. And I can't say thank you enough for the leadership you've done. Don Carona, I'm glad you're letting me be a part of this as well. You've been instrumental in this. Mark Dies here as well. He was did a lot of work. We've had a lot of conversations putting this together. So again, thank you, and just honored to be a part of this.
And I say that looking across the room in terms of every echelon of your duly elected representatives are present, which is pretty unique for an opportunity such as this. And then community leaders across the board are out here with us today. So the first three remarks when you're in the community of Galveston, the first three words in my speech today, it's really a privilege for me to say, and I open with my fellow Texans. Because people ask how we got here, that's really the answer. It's really the spirit that Texas instills in its people, instills in its government to deliver for the people, and we're going to show the nation that we can deliver. I'm very proud and humbled to say my fellow Texans, today is the start of something very big. People often say we don't build big things anymore. Well, today we're going to show them that we can build something big, and we can build something significant. 50 years from now, when our grandchildren are in our seats as responsible leaders for the community, they're going to be able to look back on Orange County as something in a moment where something big started to materialize. And what that really is a sense that the state of Texas, with the spirit of Texans, can build the most resilient coast in the nation. And what I mean by a resilient coast is a coast that provides protection for our people and our communities. A resilient coast enables the thoughtful economic development that increases the quality of life of its people for the entirety of the coast. And a resilient coast ensures that community values are represented on the environment, on land use, on private property. And those are all taken into account and delivered through a spirit of partnership, built from the bottom up, relationships built from the bottom up that are represented and championed by our state representatives and our state senators, specifically Senator Nichols, Senator Larry Taylor, who have been instrumental in advancing the idea of this project from the budgetary side and then from a coastal resilience side. But today is the beginning. As of today, we're official partners at all echelons of government. While a certain number of signatures go on to a specific agreement, we're partners. as Texans in delivering something that's bigger than ourselves. And that's really the start of building the most resilient coast in the nation. And I say that focused specifically on Orange County, recognizing that what we build here today isn't necessarily a hurricane protection system, but a component of something large in terms of that coastal resilience. I don't say hurricane protection because, as I know firsthand now, being out here in the Emergency Operations Center, it's not always the hurricane, it's not always the storm surge. What we're going to build is a resilient system here in Orange that deals with the compound set of risks that we see in Orange County, specifically in terms of the compound effect of interior rainfall event at the same time a storm surge event comes into play. That's why partnership is so important here, so that the community's values and input can be represented as the federal government mobilizes its ability to deliver a design project and move forward.
Everyone here, it's amazing. Everyone here, you could say, but for what you did, we wouldn't be here. But for what the Colonel did, we wouldn't be here. But for what Representative Paul did, everyone here, we wouldn't be here. It is truly a joint effort. It's amazing. The fact that we just play a small part of this is it's amazing, and we're so appreciative. Thank all of you for letting us be here today. It did not take, I want to say a couple of things. It did not take Hurricane Ike alone to let us know how desperately we need this storm surge protection system. Just a month ago, there was some reference to Hurricane Laura. Judge Gothia and I, and many others, 200 others probably, spent the night here. Commissioner Ray, spent the night with Colonel Vail here. The Colonel spent all day with us on landfall and the night. And up until that storm began to wobble to the east and go to the fortune of the tornado, we really thought we were going to be decimated. It was a foregone conclusion. And I had the ability to listen to all of the Corps of Engineers' internal reports because the Colonel was sharing everything internal with us. And it was not going to be good. I was concerned about the slab level in this building. This can withstand a tornado and a Cat 5 hurricane, but a storm surge like we were potentially going to face could have been absolutely catastrophic, environmentally catastrophic as well. And then just last week, Tropical Storm Vail. We barely had any rain at all. Barely. And yet, I went and surveyed all of our ditches in the southern part of our county, in Bridge City, City of Orange, West Orange. With almost no rain, all of those ditches were full. We had absolutely no capacity to absorb any sort of a rainfall event at all. Fortunately, we were blessed and we didn't get that. But they were full because of a storm surge. A 3-foot storm surge made its way from the Gulf of Mexico to Sabine Lake, to the Sabine River, into Adams and Cal Bayou, and into all of our ditches. And that's the way it goes. So, on behalf of Orange County Drainage District, we are so excited. This project is not just about storm surge protection. We know that it is going to improve our interior drainage. It's going to be a byproduct of that. So, thank all of you very much.
It's been a while. I had withdrawals and not having a microphone in front of me over the last 7 months, so I'm not having withdrawals, not wearing a suit to say that. It's a pleasure to be here. But a couple of things were said. It dawned on me in my conversation I had as I was walking in the building, and that was with the district teacher, Phil King, who called me and told me, this is the second time he's called me this week, saying that the census count for Southeast Texas is drastically low. Actually, it's low to the entire Gulf Coast. And the Colonel mentioned protecting 100,000 people. And we talked about a team effort with several senators, several state reps, the GLO. Funding's all predicated upon population. And for us to go out there and say we're protecting all these folks, we have to prove you live here. And right now, other areas of the state are proving they have a lot more people than we do. We have to fill out the census and get these forms in. It actually is supposed to end in 48 hours. the end of this month. It takes about 3 minutes to fill out online. It's extremely easy. They may extend it to the end of October. But redistricting and having all these members of the House and Senate, Congress, I know Congressman Babin very concerned about the census numbers on the Gulf Coast where he represents. It's predicated upon population. So I just happened to have a conversation with the redistricting chair who said, Dave, your area has a problem. You've got to fill out your census. We know they're there, please have them do so. So I had this opportunity with the media to put a bug in here to please remind those who read your papers, listen to your TV stations and your radio that it takes about 3 minutes to fill out. It's very easy, it's non-invasive, they don't ask any questions that you wouldn't normally answer about who you are or where you live. But this funding is predicated upon population basis, and we need to shore up our numbers here all on the Gulf Coast, because that's what this is all about, is protecting our communities. So thank y'all.
I'm not going to go thank everybody that worked on this project. Y'all have heard that several times. I just wanted y'all to know I've been proud over the years to represent Orange County and the Texas Senate, and today I'm very proud of what y'all have done collectively, working with the state and federal. It's unbelievable what really has happened today. This is a very big deal. Thank you.
It's good to be here with y'all. I represent Southeast Harris County, over Clear Lake is where NASA is, so if you come out, it's always great to be able to say that if you've been to NASA, you've been to my district. So a lot of folks have. And Byron's my representative over there as well. He's got that part of Texas and Harris County. As one of the only 2 engineers in the legislature, we both like to make sure and see infrastructure projects get done, and this is something that's critical to get done. And Colonel Vail, thanks for all that you've done. With numerous projects that we've been working with him over the years. The coastal spine, it's critical that we get this done, and we always see this as the first step. What we're going to do to get this coastal spine project completed and protect all of Galveston Bay, 6 million people from the threats of these devastating storms and storm surge. So I wanted to appreciate all that you've done. As I always said, this is our gift to the generations that follow, what we can do with these coastal barrier protection to make sure that we protect citizens of Texas for years to come. Thank you very much. God bless y'all and God bless Texas.
All right.